That much we do know. And as we look at the winter weather advisories posted for most of the state, but here locally, we have winter storm warnings for the Hill Country and then winter weather advisories for San Antonio. What does that mean? I'll step out of the way here. Winter storm warning means ice accumulation of 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch. And that can cause a few issues, and wind chill values will be 0 to 10. Winter weather advisory, some ice accumulation on the bridges and overpasses, and we'll have some very cold wind chills here as well. Here's the forecast. So that front drops in right around dinner time tonight. That's when you'll start to feel it. Winds pick up, we get some showers and more rain around the area. And then the rain's going to stick around through the nighttime hours. This is midnight. We're starting to see some freezing rain though in the Hill Country, Fredericksburg to Rock Springs, and then here just cold rain in San Antonio. By sunrise tomorrow though, most of the Hill Country is now seeing the freezing rain, maybe a little bit of sleet mixed in. And San Antonio's right on the edge. Northern parts of Barrera County could start to see some ice as soon as sunrise. Then by mid-morning, that line moves further south. And then by the afternoon, most of San Antonio is looking at some light freezing rain, maybe a little bit of sleet mixed in before all this winds down by tomorrow evening. And so again, that precipitation hanging around just a little bit longer makes the forecast a little more tricky here. Here's what we're thinking as far as ice accumulation. When we're talking less than 1/10 of an inch, and this is what I think will happen here in San Antonio, minor impacts. But bridges and overpasses definitely could become slick. There could be a few slick spots on the roads. When we're talking 1/10 of an inch to 1/4 of an inch, which is what I think the Hill Country will be dealing with, you're going to get some icy roads and bridges and some light icing on the trees and things like that. And there could be a few issues. I mean, honestly, travel, not a good idea. Probably by tomorrow afternoon here in San Antonio on some of the bridges and overpasses, but the Hill Country tomorrow for sure. It's not a good day to really be doing a lot of traveling. The other side to all this is the very, very cold temperatures. Hours below freezing. We're talking 50 to 60 hours. Now, that's not quite what we saw last year, but that is significant if you're in the Hill Country. San Antonio, 24 to 30 hours below freezing, and then to the south, 10 to 15 hours below freezing. This is the wind chill forecast for tomorrow morning, guys. 20 is what it will feel like here in town. It'll feel like single digits in the Hill Country. That's how cold that air mass is. And then as we fast forward, this is Friday morning. Wind chill values, single digits, close to 0 in the Hill Country for your feels like temperatures. So it is going to get very, very chilly. The timeline here, 65 this afternoon, front comes through this evening, turns windy, 60% chance of rain 10 p.m., 4 a.m., 80% chance of rain. And then by tomorrow morning, 70% chance of rain mixed with freezing rain, temperatures around 32. And then by the afternoon, things are winding down, but 30 degrees. And still a few lingering areas where we could see some freezing rain. The extended forecast, and I'll point out a couple of things here. Friday morning, 23. Saturday morning, 23. So that's that extended cold there, especially in the mornings. And then we're above freezing and warming up by the weekend and into next week.
Okay, don't leave, Justin, because we have a couple of questions.
Sure.
We have a lot of viewers asking us right now on Facebook. So they keep saying, our school's going to close, our school's going to close. We have not gotten word yet on what a lot of these districts are going to do.
Right.
I know school administration, they're looking at us to see what's happening. So the time for travel for work and school tomorrow that we need to be concerned about is not necessarily maybe going in the morning to school or work, but it's going to be maybe school being let out.
And let's be very specific about this. If you're in the Hill Country, by the morning time, roads could already be a little dicey. So schools there in the Hill Country are going to have a little different timeline here. San Antonio, yes. I think the morning commute, by and large, will be okay. It'll be wet, but we're not looking for the freezing stuff just yet. By the afternoon, that could change a little bit, and we could see a few more slick spots. So that'll be the decision that administrators have to look at. And obviously that's their call.
And you said geography really plays a part because in the school closures aspect, because we have the Hill Country making completely different decisions because they're getting the worst of it. But then you have, north side schools, and then versus the south side and more, inner city schools.
And what's interesting about Barrera County, and we've said this before, is there is an elevation change within our county. So northern part of Barrera County can often see more ice than the southern half of the county. We're getting into details here, but bottom line, tomorrow afternoon, travel could become a little problematic.
And we were talking about this earlier in studio as well. This should not be as bad as last February.
Correct.
But not not like it was 2 weeks ago, where it wasn't as severe.
Correct.
So it's kind of a middle.
I'm glad you pointed that out.
Okay.
Yes. So I don't want people to panic and think that, first off, ERCOT is saying that we will have power, so that's a good thing. I don't think it's not going to be like last February, but the event we had a couple weeks ago, we didn't really see much here. I think there is going to be a little more impact here in San Antonio, and that's what we have to watch for. And again, I can't stress enough, the bridges and overpasses, and a lot of people asking about what do I do about pipes and stuff like that. It is going to get cold enough, I think low 20s, where if you have exposed pipes, maybe you have an older home, those are the kind of pipes you want to wrap just to be safe. And if you have like a crawl space or something like that, the outdoor spigots, you're going to want to wrap those. Obviously the 4 Ps, pets, pipes, plants, and people. We want to keep all that in mind this go around with temperatures dipping down into the 20s.
And a lot of our comments are people are talking about panic buying right now on Facebook.
Yeah, let's not do that.
It's not really necessary.
No. We have here Jesse Tovar saying the groceries are crazy, and another one here, Max, saying that everybody, not our Max, but everyone's saying that everybody is hitting the stores like crazy. So we want to also try and avoid that whole situation, people rushing
There's no
out there.
need to go buy all the toilet paper.
No, and I get it. I know last February is still fresh in everyone's mind, but no, there is no need for that. It's going to be a couple days here, but we'll keep you posted. We'll send you alerts, and maybe things will improve pretty rapidly as we get into Friday afternoon, hopefully.
Yeah, and that's honestly the best way to follow you guys through our Weather Authority app. They are updating that constantly, and we know that you guys are working around the clock now to make sure that we're updated and ready to go here.
Yes.
Thank you to our weather team.
Yep, you got it, guys.
Thanks, Justin.
You got it.
Definitely. All right, guys, so moving on to some other news here. Well, first of all, we're going to stay a little bit with some of the cold weather. Bexar County is opening several warming centers tonight as we get ready for this incoming cold freeze that is on our way.
So just take a look on your screen. Some of those locations are 2096 Tally Road, 2310 Bulverde Road, and 6427 Evers. They will all be open starting tonight at 7 p.m. and they're going to remain open through Saturday at noon.
Yeah, we know these warming centers are vital for people that are maybe, just trying to find a spot just to kind of keep warm throughout this freeze. So we have a full list of these locations on KSAT.com. So make sure to check that out there on our website.
Absolutely. Okay, we have some developing news this morning that will affect thousands of our troops. The Pentagon saying 3,000 U.S. troops will be deployed to Germany, Poland, and Romania as tensions rise with Russia over Ukraine.
Those troops will boost Allied forces in those countries, but Pentagon officials are saying this morning that the troops will not fight in Ukraine. Those U.S. troops will deploy from Germany and Fort Bragg in North Carolina.
So Russian President Vladimir Putin has been placing troops on the Ukraine border for months. He does not want Ukraine to join NATO or get other concessions from the West.
Yeah, so this has been a developing story overseas for some time now, and now we're seeing a little bit of action on our end here. So we will continue to follow this information. Now back here at home, Sarah, human smuggling case. This is a pretty big story for the past 24 hours that has been cracked in Bexar County, and it's all thanks to a concerned citizen.
Yeah, so we're told that the person flagged down Bexar County Sheriff's deputies Tuesday morning near Shepherd and Pearsall Roads in southwest Bexar County to report seeing what looked like people being forced into a nearby van. The deputies attempted to pull the driver over, but the driver got out and ran. A total of 7 men and a woman were found locked inside the van, and none of them were hurt, but they were hungry and thirsty, and all 8 were taken into federal custody. The driver there is still on the run.
It paints a pretty bleak picture for these folks, pretty heartbreaking story. And God knows what was going to happen to them should they continue on that journey.
And you can read that full story right now on KSAT.com. All right, switching gears. So if you're making spring break plans, keep this in mind. The CDC and Prevention and State Department are urging Americans to avoid travel to Mexico due to very high levels of COVID, but that's not their only warning, RJ.
Yeah, that's right. This morning, Sarah, the U.S. Consulate is reminding Americans to be careful when traveling to some top vacation spots after 2 Canadians were recently killed at a luxury hotel in Playa del Carmen, and there were other incidents before that, including the deaths of a California woman and another tourist caught in an apparent gang-related crossfire in Tulum, and that is south of Cancun.
So tourists are being reminded wanted to be aware of their surroundings and to avoid crowds, which should be the case anywhere you travel outside of the U.S.
Yeah, definitely. Did you do a lot of traveling for spring break when you were in college? I never had enough money to go.
Neither did I.
to Mexico.
To be honest, no, I never had the money to do that.
Yeah.
I think, no, I went on one cruise my senior year, and it was like 20 girls.
Yeah.
We went on like a, and that was, I'll never do it again.
No, not something you're planning to
It
do.
was fun, but I was like it was too much.
Yeah, definitely. So for people that are interested or already making those spring break plans, of course we know that COVID's a big deal, and also just be careful when you go out there because it's getting a little bit dangerous there.
All right, do you play Wordle?
I do not, and I was wondering if you did. Oh, okay. All right. You're showing your Wordle skills off for us
Well, no,
this morning?
because these are actually I'm on 2 tries right now, and I've gotten 3 letters.
Okay.
And so if you're a Wordle player, don't look at my screen because I don't want to ruin it for you.
Okay, real quick though, for people that maybe heard of Wordle but don't know how to play, what do you have to figure out like a daily word, right?
Yeah, it's real simple. It's not an app. It's like a simple website. And I think that's what makes it so great is that you have. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. You have 6 tries.
6 tries.
6 tries to figure out a 5-letter word, and it's just a lot of fun. And these words are super simple. And the big news here is that the New York Times has acquired that viral word game called Wordle for, of course, they're not saying how much, an undisclosed 7-figure sum.
Ooh, good money there for Wordle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, we were talking about how this all sort of came about and became this like big sort of online sensation. So this was created by a Reddit engineer, Josh Wardle, cool.
Yeah.
And it launched in October, so it's getting a lot of traction here. Wordle gives players just those 6 guesses to determine a 5-letter word that changes every day.
Yeah, so the daily puzzle has become a hit since its launch, quickly attracting hundreds of thousands, then millions of players. So people were a little concerned about the New York Times buyout, but the creator and the New York Times say, nope, it's still going to be free, and there's going to be no changes made to the game.
Okay, well, they're saying that now. We were talking about it a little bit earlier. Alyssa was saying that maybe they're going to ask you to put in your email or something like that. So let's hear a little bit more about this acquisition from the New York Times.
It is free. When it comes to the Times, it'll be free. That is not something that we would want to change, and it's definitely one of the big reasons why it's so successful. And we're just excited to have this audience be introduced to the New York Times, to introduce the New York Times to this game, and there's so much value we're going to get from that. So we're not thinking right now about limiting the game in any way.
And what's so addicting to about it is that these words are so simple, and yet I'm sitting here racking my brain like, wait, what? Like yesterday, I think the word was those. Oh. And I could not get it for the life of me.
Yeah.
Mark, we were doing it during commercial break, and Mark looked at me and he goes, it's those.
Oh, okay.
Like he just looked at me like, how could you not
get
that?
Do they give you a vowel,
yeah, so like
consonant?
if you get one of the letters, it's kind of similar to Wheel of Fortune board.
Yes, right.
So if you get any of the letters, they tell you, yes, this is got one of the letters, or if you get one of the letters that's not in the correct spot, it's like a yellow marker like, hey, not where it goes, but this letter is in this word.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I have not taken the Wordle plunge yet. Also, something that stood out there, that soundbite. So the New York Times has a GM of games? What position is that?
I mean, have you done a New York Times crossword puzzle?
I have not. Good call there. Yes, I know that they're some of the best, the best around. The GM of games. That's a pretty cool title there. Yeah. So Wordle being acquired by the New York Times. Pretty
Very cool.
Move. Yeah. All right, everybody, get ready because Sarah, I know you're excited about this. The Commanders are back on the field. No, we're not talking about our San Antonio, now defunct San Antonio Commanders.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Okay, it's the worst, best kept secret, right? The Washington football team announced today that Commanders will be their new team name. They unveiled the uniforms and the logo this morning.
And our resident Washington football fan, yes, GMSA anchor Mark Austin, shared some thoughts with us on this new team name.
Washington Commanders. I don't know. Had a better ring to it, I think, when it was the San Antonio Commanders. I like some of the other options a little bit better. I was one of the initial fans of Red Wolves. Doesn't matter now. It's water under the bridge. It's the Washington Commanders, and I don't know if it'll command my attention, but I'm going to work on it.
Well, there you go. There's Mark Austin's.
I love that it was frozen on
Yeah, it was kind of a stink face there, like, that was the name. Yeah. So, Sarah, we have some reaction to this on Facebook. This is from earlier, from a post we had earlier this morning, and I think we have a couple of these graphics up. There we go. So Pete Arredondo says, 4th and 25 for the Washington Commanders. Sounds good. Who else do we have here?
Ricky Lozano says Commanders sound like it was generated by Madden.
Just the Madden team name. And then we have Albert here saying like they want to be like SA when we had that name.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I don't think they were thinking about the San Antonio Commanders at all when they made this name change.
Yeah, definitely.
They're like, oh wait, there was a team there?
Yeah, they probably, that was not even a consideration. So this other person here, Christina, said that they should have been called the Sentinels. Do you remember the Keanu Reeves movie, The Replacements?
Yes.
They were called the Washington Sentinels. That's why she said, yeah.
I see what you did there.
Keanu Reeves was a quarterback in that movie. So yeah, the Commanders, this thing was chosen over other finalists such as Red Hogs. Those could have been a cool name there. And we have some more here, as Mark mentioned earlier. The Red Wolves was one of them. So yeah, the Admirals, the presidents, and team officials wanted this new name to have a connection to the U.S. military. How are you feeling about it?
I'm indifferent. I'm a Cowboys fan. We got our own drama. We got our own drama,
We
Cowboys
do have
fans.
drama. Yeah, we definitely have drama when it comes to the Cowboys. And of course, Washington will be playing the Dallas Cowboys for the foreseeable future as the two division rivals. So Commanders versus Cowboys. Okay, that has a little ring to it.
Okay, I'm still going for the Cowboys.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
So RJ, before we head out, I do want to address some of these. We're getting a lot of Facebook comments, mostly about the weather, the school closures, the panic buying. A lot of people are saying stop panic buying. Some people are saying, they've been gone to HEB and it's already happening. Somebody brought up the TikTok video that went viral. Did you see this video?
Of course I did, yes.
I immediately sent it to Sarah Spivey the morning I saw it. But
the one of all the empty store shelves, and
yes,
she's kind of like, it was a pretty good report there.
It was
Chismosa.
Yeah,
That's what
great
it was.
reporting. But I wonder if she's already out in the streets reporting for us. We'll have to check.
It's 210 La Chismosa. Someone just commented.
210 La
Facebook.
Yeah.
I think that's sort of one of the messages that we want to get across is that the panic buying, just kind of be thoughtful of people and make sure that everyone sort of gets the items that they're getting, even if they're not going to be out and about a lot this weekend.
I think our meteorologists have really set a really great tone, not really to panic, but hey, there will be concern. And then afterwards, after tomorrow, it's just going to be really, really cold. Really just protect your pipes, your plants, your pets, people. If you know an elderly relative or a neighbor who doesn't have access, or is using things like a stove, an oven or stove, or space heaters.
Space heaters, which maybe, a lot of times can be a little dangerous.
Take them in, give them a place to stay, or find a warm place. We have all those warming centers listed on KSAT.com.
Yeah, and of course, we will continue to follow the latest when it comes to school districts and closures there. And remember, you can find all of that information on our website as we get ready for this freeze to come through. Sarah, you ready to bundle up here?
I'm always ready.
Wait, it's your Friday, though.
It's my Friday.
Okay, you maybe get called in?
No.
Okay.
Well, now I just jinxed myself.
Yeah, hopefully I didn't just jinx you there. Okay, well, thank you very much, Sarah, for being with us. We will see you guys tomorrow at 11 a.m. right here at KSAT News Now.